2026 is shaping up to be a chaotic year on the global stage. And if you ever turn on the news or read the news from actual reputable journalists, like you should be doing, you could be forgiven for thinking that everything's going to hell. That is, unless you're a Battletech fan, because we're going to be eating real good this year, Mech Warriors. Catalyst Game Labs has announced new starter boxes and even a new rulebook for everyone's favorite game of big stumpy robots. From what I could tell, the plan is to debut these at Gen Con, which means we've got a few months before people start getting their hands on these new goodies. So I figured I'd take a little time to discuss what we've seen so far and my hopes for all these products. Firstly, we're going to talk about the new box sets. We're getting a new starter box, seemingly replacing the beginner box, and this has me quite interested. I've got the original beginner box, and the ones that have been released after have had little appeal to me. This has my attention. This comes with two Il-Clan era mechs in the Hammerhead and the Contillo. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you, I'm not super well versed in Il-Clan stuff. The books came out when I couldn't really justify buying new stuff, and I was focused on getting my mercenary companies set for clan invasion games, as that's what my community was playing at the time. So these mechs are rather unknown to me. That said, they both look fucking amazing. And this is the first plastic Contillo released. An interesting thing to note is the inclusion of objective markers, which leads me to believe that there will be actual objective scenarios in the rulebook that comes in the box. This could also make scenario-based gameplay with capture points more common in the future, and I gotta say that scenarios and clearly defined objectives beyond make the enemy mech warriors weep as you core their mechs has always sort of felt like Battletech's weak point. This will be very welcome from me, and I imagine much of the community. There's been some discussion I'm already seeing about using Il-Clan era mechs instead of something more well-known and iconic, but honestly, I don't see a problem with it. Il-Clan is the current era, so trying to get people into it is a solid marketing choice. Would I like to have seen us keep going through the eras with boxes dedicated to each one? Sure. But then we'd still have 3 more eras before we get to Il-Clan, and that might just take way too long. Considering these 2 model boxes regularly come with simplified rules and record sheets for the sake of easing people into the game, and we can already see that this one will as well, so I don't think there should be any concerns about these mechs being more complicated than stuff from, say, 3025. If this stays at the same price point as the beginner boxes of the past, then this will be a spectacular product for newbies and established players alike. Moving on, we have the new Core Box, which lacks the naming punch of a game of Armored Combat, but I also get it. Just like the older Game of Armored Combat box, this one comes with 8 mechs and a more in-depth version of the rules and full record sheets for the mechs in the box. Speaking of the mechs in the box, holy shit. This box is absolutely stacked with excellent sculpts and new plastic versions of mechs I've been waiting to come to plastic since the current generation of plastic models first got released. This box will get you an Eris, Vulture Mark IV, Regent Solitaire, and a Raxhasa, I think is how that mech's pronounced. But you'll also get 3 mechs that I'm absolutely drooling over. The Gauss-toting beast that is the Madcat Mark II, the just bolt a gun to some legs we call the Hollander, and my first battle mech love, the Uziel. I can't properly express how excited I am for those 3 mechs. I've been waiting for a plastic Madcat Mark II and Uziel for years now, and while I would have settled for the metal models, being able to get them both together in a box with beautiful plastic sculpts. Brief aside, I've always disliked how weighty the Gauss rifles looked on the Madcat Mark II from MechWarrior Online, but these look properly beefy and I'm here for it. Although, funnily, this art makes it appear to have lasers, which must be one of the variants that hold no appeal to me because Gauss rifles rule. This box also contains a booklet titled Sagas, which has me very interested. This book is a primer for Battletech and will help guide people to different factions based on their preferred playstyles while also providing lore and new art. Honestly, I'm here for this. One of the things that often comes up when I talk to new players about Battletech is what is each faction's gimmick? And while Battletech doesn't really fall into what I like to call one sentence army descriptions, like some other games, having an official thing that can help new players figure out how they want to go in the setting is a good plan. Honestly, everything we can see here looks amazing. Again, if this is the same price point as a game of armored combat, or even a little more given the current state of global economies, this will be a fantastic value. I know I'll be looking to grab one. Lastly, we're getting something that's pretty uncommon for Battletech, a whole new rulebook. We've had Total Warfare for 17 years now, and it's on its 10th printing with various errata. I gotta be real with you, this has me very excited. I love Total Warfare, but having looked over the document Catalyst Game Labs has released with what's being changed, which I will link in the description below, it seems like it's going to be good stuff. Lots of little changes to make the game more fun while still retaining the feel of Battletech. Fixing things like autocannons, how movement and water works, getting rid of pilot skill rolls for shooting heavy Gauss rifles, and more is very, very welcome. The only thing that has me concerned is how they speak about aerospace, and I wonder if they plan to simplify that down quite a bit. I love aerospace. Doing bombing runs and the likes adds so much flavor to the game, so I hope that doesn't get gutted. I know aerospace isn't the most popular aspect of Battletech. I mean, I had a local community that basically just banned it from all their games because nobody else wanted to learn it, but I love the shit out of it. Overall, though, I'm very excited for what we're seeing here. Two new box sets that look super solid, plus a new rulebook that is fixing a fair number of issues the game has. It would seem that the Battletech renaissance will continue, and I'm on board for it. Battletech is one of my favorite games and franchises, and to see it continue going strong like this warms my old heart. So strap in, Mech Warriors, because I think it's going to be one hell of a year.